Welcome back. The Northport Fire Department is currently understaffed, which could be a big problem when lives are on the line during an emergency.
Northport's fire chief is asking the city commission to approve hiring 9 new firefighters to ensure that when fires break out, they can be controlled quickly. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has more from Northport.
As the city of Northport grows, so does the need for emergency responders.
We need a 3-person staff on our apparatus.
Since the recession began, 2-man teams have been running calls for Northport's fire department, but there should be 3 people on calls, each with a specific duty.
We have an active fire. It allows us to have an operator at the pump panel to monitor the equipment in case there's a failure, in case they're running low on water, and then it allows 2 people to actually operate in the fire.
Firefighters work as teams, so 2 need to enter a fire. In budget talks last year, the fire chief asked the city to hire 9 new personnel, 3 each spread out over 3 years.
Last year we did not approve the first 3, so the 6th this year is really to get current, if you will, in their plan for the total of 9.
Northport Mayor Jacqueline Moore said last year they couldn't justify spending the money, but this year is a different story.
This is the annual process we go by to rationalize and look at, has the growth occurred as predicted? Yes, exceeding in some cases.
More hires will be on the way. Due to city growth, more fire stations will be popping up, including one on Price Boulevard, replacing a double-wide trailer moonlighting as a fire station.
We're excited to get that facility built out of the ground and put up so that we can be in a hardened facility for storm season and available to service the community.
As those new stations are built, more manpower will be needed to run them.
The smallest fire station we have, you're talking about 5 personnel per shift. So we work a 24 on 48-hour shift. So that's 15 people. That's not accounting for any time off or anything else.
The hiring of the new firefighters is contingent upon the fire department's budget being passed. The mayor told us today she feels confident that it will be. In Northport, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher. A Northport man is charged with 35 counts of aggravated animal cruelty. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say that Andrew Gerbrich failed to provide adequate food, water, and medical care to 35 cats living in his home. Last week, Animal Services officers, they stopped by to his home for a welfare check. Inside, officers found cat feces and garbage scattered throughout, along with the remains of 9 cats. 26 cats were removed from the home and taken to Animal Services, where they are getting medical attention. Gerbrich told investigators that he took in the animals as part of a cat rescue, but was unable to financially care for these cats.
A follow-up now on the arrest of a well-known long-distance runner in Sarasota. Sarasota police charging John Pyle with an additional 15 counts of possession of child pornography. That brings the total count now to 30. Pyle was arrested last week at his home on South Osprey Avenue following tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Detectives say they found images of child porn on his computer and phone. Pyle is known to the community for carrying an American flag during running events. Years ago, he ran solo across the country and would run annually through downtown Sarasota on 9/11. When people hear the term human trafficking, many think of women on the street, but in reality, much of it is now taking place online. Tonight on ABC 7 at 7, we take a look at how the internet is changing human trafficking. ABC 7's Kate Flexter joins us now with a preview of her story. Kate?
That's right, Scott. Social media is actually the #1 way traffickers seek out their victims. Today, much of human trafficking takes place behind the scenes. That's on websites, social media, and apps. While the internet gives us access to the world, it also gives the world access to us. Law enforcement and support groups for victims say they're seeing more and more online trafficking.
When a kid has the world in their pocket, a violator has total access to them.
It does allow, I think, predators or traffickers or pimps to prey upon vulnerable people.
Tonight we find out how the internet is changing the fight against human trafficking. For the full story, tune in tonight at 7. Back to you.
Thank you, Kate. Disney World is making more changes following a deadly gator attack at one of its resorts. The theme park is putting up no fishing signs at several areas, including Saratoga Springs Resorts and Spa, the Fort Wilderness Campground, and Old Key West Resort. Fishing at Disney World is now limited to excursions. Netting has also been added to rope fences that were installed after an alligator attacked a 2-year-old near the shore of the Seven Seas Lagoon. Hotel beaches will now be staffed during the day and closed at night.
Well, here's proof that some gators can get even over some tough obstacles. An alligator was found scaling a chain link fence at a golf club in Fort Myers. The 8-foot gator had no problem climbing and getting over the fence. Didn't seem to be affected by the barbed wire on the top of it either. The manager of the golf course says he'll try to fortify that fence in the future to keep the gators out.
Oh my goodness, they're everywhere.
Pretty smart to be able to do that.
To climb that?
Yeah.
I think they are much more ambidextrous, or whatever you want to say about them. They can get around very easily.
Yeah,
so that's why you have to be aware. Agile, yeah.
Let's get over to Bob now for a check on our weather tonight. Bob, pretty quiet out there right now.
Yeah, amazing video right there. The gator going over the fence. I guess you got to angle it a little bit more, right? Like they do in some areas. 90 degrees right now. It's hot out there. Heat index at 99. Dew point 74. Winds out of the west-southwest at 9. The pressure 29.99 inches. It's been holding steady. High pressure still kind of dominating our weather, and you can see these storms, as it has been over the past several days, inland this afternoon and pushing off toward the east. A little bit of activity in southeastern portions of Manatee County, and one lone shower just now popping up near I-75 and looks like Manatee Avenue, State Road 64. Mayaca City, some showers around there. Not very impressive. There's that one lone shower, as I mentioned, I-75 and State Road 64. Elsewhere, out there in the Gulf of Mexico, we do have this line of low pressure, which has really changed our weather somewhat. This low pressure area will stay pretty much intact right to our north. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. A false alarm created a serious scare at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. The base was put on lockdown this morning after an active shooter was reported in the medical building of the base. Someone saw an active shooter drill taking place on the campus, but mistook the drill for an actual attack. Law enforcement responded, but did not find any signs of a shooter, and the lockdown was lifted. The president, vice president, and other senior government officials fly in and out of Andrews. The base is the home of Air Force One and is about 20 miles outside of Washington.
New details are now emerging about this week's deadly terror attack in Turkey. The suicide bombers targeted the airport in Istanbul, killing dozens of people. New images of the chaos at Istanbul's airport. Airport security footage from Tuesday apparently showing terrified travelers running from one of the 3 attackers near the check-in counters of the international terminal.
Just a sea of people screaming, running, tripping, police with guns drawn. And it quickly became clear that something nasty had happened. This wasn't a drill, this wasn't a hoax.
2 days later, raids in Istanbul and more than a dozen arrests. Turkish authorities trying to find anyone with links to the terrorist who fired assault weapons and detonated 3 suicide vests, killing more than 40 people.
They knew the places that they wanted to be, that they appeared to act in a coordinated fashion. All of those are indications that this was a well-planned and well-orchestrated attack.
Funerals are now being held, and a memorial at the airport is growing, honoring those killed and the more than 230 people who were injured, including 1 American. In response to the attack, there will be enhanced security at airports and train stations in the U.S. this holiday weekend.
Continue to go to public events, but be aware and be vigilant.
The Homeland Security Secretary going on to say, though no group has claimed responsibility, it does appear ISIS was behind that attack in Turkey.
A gun shop in Illinois is causing controversy for how it is showing support for the victims of the Orlando shooting. The shop is raffling off an AR-15 with the proceeds benefiting the victims. That is the same type of gun the shooter used in the attack. The shop owner says the raffle is an efficient, effective way of raising money and showing that they stand with the victims. The shop will also donate $2,000 to the One Orlando Fund.
Well, squirt bottles on desks, dispensers on walls. Hand sanitizers are a quick and easy way to get rid of germs.
But the FDA is not so convinced that they actually work, and the agency wants proof that they are effective and safe. That story is straight ahead in Health News.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus ES 350 for only $329 or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329. exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process
And are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Sarasota Ford.
Each year during the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival, local fishing enthusiasts, boat captains, and government agencies volunteer their time to take more than 80 special needs clients out for a day of fishing on Sarasota Bay. It's called the Friendliest Catch. After a day on the water, every participant is a winner and recognized during a special lunch and awards presentation held at the Sarasota Sailing Squadron.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck 39 years running, the Ford F-150, Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Stand out in your new Wild Lexus. Lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419 or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419. Exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
The FDA is asking the makers of hand sanitizer products to prove that they are safe as well as effective. ABC7's Alex Redmond joins us with the details of this request. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. A bar of soap used to do the trick, but now sanitizers are the go-to cleanser for many. And the FDA wants some more information.
For many, it's within arm's reach.
I keep hand sanitizer all over my house, in the bathroom, the kitchen, in the living room, where anybody else is going to be, and encourage them to use it just as much as I do.
Terry Jefferson says hand sanitizers help prevent infecting yourself and others.
I tell my nieces and my nephews all the time, when they cough, when they sneeze, when they pick up something that's dirty, wash your hands, sanitize your hands. It's important.
But are we over-sanitizing? And how safe are these products for us? Now the FDA is questioning that.
And I have to say I applaud the FDA for being willing to look at this issue and keep us all safe by making sure that there's no toxicity in hand wash.
The biggest concern the FDA has, explains Dr. Albert Avila, is absorption of alcohol,
which is what's mostly found in hand sanitizers, particularly for women who might be pregnant and also small children.
In bottles or on the wall, sanitizers are everywhere.
Where do you see it? Schools. You see it on cruise ships, airports, even supermarkets.
A regular hand sanitizer generally uses isopropyl alcohol. Sometimes they use triclosan, which is...
The FDA is now looking for manufacturers to provide data for ethyl alcohol, benzalkonium chloride, and isopropyl alcohol.
So I carry this around when I'm at work.
Dina Gossman says she errs on the side of caution with an ethanol-based hand sanitizer with other ingredients.
Essential oils that are known to be like antibacterial. So it's not as damaging, it's not as bad to absorb into your skin.
But I think the most important point is that the CDC still recommends that plain soap and water, washing our hands, is the best way to keep our hands clean.
The widespread use of antiseptic could have an impact on the development of bacterial resistance. That's what new safety information suggests. but you can continue to use sanitizers as nothing is being pulled off the market.
So besides soap, Alex, or these sanitizers, what are some other options if we want to clean our hands?
I think the best thing for people to do if they're really concerned about what the ingredients are is to go to EWG or the Environmental Working Group, because they have a list of products, not just hand sanitizers, but cleansers for your home and all that sort of thing. And they will actually list what is in all of these things and if there's any cause for concern, even things that the FDA is not yet involved with. So it's a good idea to always double check and have somebody like an advocacy group. So that's EWG. We'll have a link on mysuncoast.com.
Thank you, Alex. Now let's head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast.
Well, another hot day today. High pressure normally situated off the Carolina coast and then provides us with that east to southeasterly wind flow, which butts up against the sea breeze and then brings the storms our way late in the afternoon. Not there because a trough of low pressure, you can see the cloudiness associated with it has kind of changed everything up. And at this time, we can have and occasionally do get water spouts that form on this situation as these showers move ashore. This was in Tampa, dramatic video of this water spout all over social media today, just after noon. And you can see this as they were driving over one of the bridges. This was sighted just to the southwest of the Tampa airport, and courtesy Tyler Skelton sending this in. And we were able to get this, and you can see that kind of elongated thin line of a water spout it was, and usually these kind typically break up and dissipate as they make their way on into land. So thank you for that. And Anna Maria webcam showing not a lot going on there. Things are fairly quiet throughout the day today. This is Bimini Bay, and you can see the westerly flow. That's the cloudiness bringing onshore from the Gulf of Mexico there. And seas running really quite nice, and it looks like all the way through this big boating weekend, seas are going to be fairly calm, although we may see a few isolated storms around that can kick up those winds and seas, so keep an eye on that as we progress through Saturday, Sunday, and the 4th of July. Right now, the biggest activity on the East Coast, and it looks like this pattern is going to persist, and if it does so, that means most of the 4th of July celebrations and fireworks displays should be okay. Now, there's an occasional shower that pops up here and there in the coastal locations, but not very strong. These are outflow boundaries from the heavy rainfall that occurred in the interior portions of our viewing area, which do have a tendency to kick off a few brief showers, nothing at this point too heavy, it looks like. As far as the rainfall estimates go, we had a few showers down south near Venice and Inglewood earlier this morning. Did produce some rainfall there, but as you can see, the moisture content is slowly increasing in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. And that means a little bit more storms expected and anticipated over the weekend, especially the inland areas and even along the coast in the late morning or afternoon. I think there'll be a few more showers around. And yes, there will be a possibility of some isolated water spouts through the weekend. The heat index 99, dew point 74. That's way up there. Winds out of the west, southwest at 9. The high, as it has been all week long, above average. Low 90s for the most part up and down the coast. And 76 was the morning low, which is fairly close to seasonal averages. And for the monthly total now, we are almost an inch below average, at least at the airport, for rainfall, despite what we saw early on this month. 81 in Jacksonville now, 85 into Orlando, 87 degrees in Miami. And where it's been raining, temperatures have cooled off near Wauchula. Rain cool there, 81, 87 in Mayaca, and 90 Sarasota, 87 in Inglewood, and 85 at Cortez and Bradenton Beach. Futurecast showing some showers inland tonight, then some morning showers moving on shore, say around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then continuing to move to the east in time. You can see this trough kind of hanging on there, and it can occasionally create some showers out here in the Gulf, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We could see 1 or 2 of those make their way on shore in the evening hours as well. And that looks like it will stay that way through Saturday and Sunday, and even into looks like Monday, 4th of July. And we'll get back to more of the normal pattern, I believe, once this trough fades away and high pressure builds back in off the Carolina coast on Tuesday of next week. Well, temperatures are fairly cool over the upper Mississippi Valley all the way through the Great Lakes. Nice day today in St. Louis and Kansas City and Boston, all into the mid 70s to low 80s. For boaters, I mentioned mainly smooth out there as far as water conditions go, and seas running less than 2 feet really. The water temperature about as warm as it gets, 90 degrees, and the tides upcoming for Sarasota Bay, high tide at 11:33, sunset will be at 8:29. Inland storms through this evening and then redeveloping during the coast, along the coast in the morning. Morning showers possible, inland storms in the afternoon. On Friday, it will be warm and muggy, a high near 90 degrees, and heat indices up near 100. The extended forecast calling for a chance for scattered storms all the way through the next 7 days. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. The outside lane on I-75 near Toledo Blade Boulevard is blocked in both directions because of construction.
Federal officials are now warning of more than 300,000 Honda and Acura owners to stop driving their cars immediately. The government says cars made from 2001 to 2003 have faulty Takata airbags in them and need to be replaced. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says new tests show these airbags have a much higher risk of exploding and killing the driver or passenger. There have been 10 U.S. deaths tied to exploding Takata airbags, and 8 of those 10 were in the cars that had this specific airbag. One airline is offering a way for frequent flyers to get through security checks faster. JetBlue says it will now cover the enrollment fees of TSA PreCheck program for its frequent flyers. With the TSA PreCheck, flyers who are considered low risk can go through a quicker security screening process. The program's fee is usually $85 for a 5-year membership.
Bad news for those who like to sneak a bite of cookie dough. The FDA says you should not eat raw cookie dough or batter of any kind, even if it doesn't contain eggs, because there's an outbreak of illnesses related to a strain of E. coli bacteria found in some batches of flour. The FDA says some of those who got sick ate or handled raw dough that contained flour made at a General Mills plant in Kansas City, Missouri. General Mills voluntarily recalled 10 million pounds of flour sold under the Gold Medal Wondra, and Signature Kitchen brands.
Hope that doesn't apply to the ice cream.
I was wondering about the ice cream. I wonder what that's made with.
That's good stuff.
I don't know. We'll have to investigate. It is good. We'll have to investigate that. Entertainment news is next.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Some unusual sights at Selby Gardens this summer, plus adult coloring books, makeover madness, and Geyers in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Florida Leather Gallery.
Your support during the Grand Prix Festival makes a difference. Community Haven for Adults and Children with Disabilities is one of 5 area nonprofit agencies receiving support from Suncoast Charities for Children and the Suncoast Foundation. Thanks to a recent grant, a new roof was installed on their adult training facility. Special project funding like this ensures program and service money goes directly to clients who need it the most.
Florida Leather Gallery is celebrating the 4th of July with spectacular savings. Take 33% off hundreds of styles. Experience freedom of choice with a wide and wonderful assortment of leathers. Freedom from worry with our impressive collection of protected leathers. And freedom from guilt as we proudly offer the lowest price guaranteed. Plus, free delivery. It's all happening right now. Come celebrate with our Lexperts at our 6 Florida Leather Galleries.
College is the best starting line a Florida student could have. Since earning my degree at the University of Florida, I've gone on to be a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rookie of the Year and a team owner in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. Thanks to the Florida Lottery, many more students will be off to the races with a brighter future. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
The group behind the Oscars is looking to diversify.
the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is extending invitations to nearly 700 new members. About half of those invited are women and 41% are people of color. Notable names in the industry like Idris Elba, Daniel Day Kim, Lana and Lily Wachowski have been invited to join. The roster also includes 28 Oscar winners, 283 international members representing 59 countries. The Academy has been heavily criticized and even boycotted over its lack of minority nominees in any of the acting categories over the last 2 years. Nancy Grace is leaving her primetime show on the HLN network in October. Grace told her staff today that her show would be ending after 12 years. Grace's Take No Prisoner style made her show very popular when legal cases involving Kaylee Anthony, Casey Anthony, and Natalie Holloway dominated the news. But there have been fewer of those sensational trials in recent years, so her ratings have dropped.
Country singer Brad Paisley is helping people in his home state. Paisley has started a fundraising campaign to help West Virginia flood victims, and he's kicked in $100,000 of his own money to get it started. Paisley hopes to bring in $1 million with a GoFundMe account. Meanwhile, Billy Ray Cyrus and America's Got Talent winner Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. will be part of a Rebuild West Virginia telethon tomorrow. At least 23 people were killed in floods in West Virginia last week.
Scarlett Johansson has been named the highest-grossing actress of all time. In her career, the 31-year-old has raked in $3.3 billion at the box office. She has starred in several big-hit movies, including Hail Caesar, Lucy, and Her. Johansson is also a mainstay in Marvel films, starring in 5 of them so far. According to Box Office Mojo, she is the 10th highest-earning actor in Hollywood, male or female.
And actor Matt Damon pranked some unsuspecting shoppers in Los Angeles in a top-secret spy mission. As part of the fake mission, Damon recruited real-life shoppers over the phone and guided them through their assignment. By the end of the mission, Damon made his big reveal, surprising his secret spies with tickets to the Jason Bourne premiere. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool. Yep, incorporating the movie with the marketing. And
absolutely. Pretty smart. We'll be right back with more news.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.